Coming out of your Egypt. Coming out of your Gomorrah. No looking back, no looking back, no.
Right now I'm working on some drills that I'm gonna do with my 2014 team this coming up week. They are 2014, so they are 8 years old. And one of the things that I always incorporate, or I always try to, in every single one of my drills, although there is a component having to do with soccer that I want them to improve on, I always ask myself, what can I do or incorporate in this drill that will enforce them to act on things that will help them to become leaders? What can I do that will bring out the attributes that is required of a leader in these drills? So I always add to it. So in one of the drills, I have a passing game that I want to do to work on their first, or not even a passing game really, but more like a competition in some sense. But I want to work on their first touch. That's the main thing of the drill. But what I do is I organize it in such a way, I make it somewhat complicated, and I require them to communicate specific things within the drill, because one of our team values, and there's a list of values that our team has, so I make sure that in each drill I try to make sure that one of those values at least can be incorporated into that drill. So in this drill, it's communicate instructions always. So as they are doing this drill, it will force them to communicate, and then it'll force them to communicate the instructions the whole time. It's set up in such a way that the moment they don't communicate, it's not going to work anymore. It's pretty much impossible to complete unless you are communicating instructions always. So I make it complicated while still working on their first touch, but I set the pattern up in such a way that it's impossible that you can complete without communicating. So part of the reason that I'm showing these clips at the beginning, they may not seem to have much significance, but I want you to get an idea of how disruptive they can be as 8-year-olds. And this is important because whenever you're creating leaders, you want to create leaders that can lead on their own, that they have the discipline to lead on their own. One of the things that a lot of coaches do that's a mistake if you're trying to build leaders is you instill the discipline in them that comes from you. So what that means is they're only disciplined because you are making them be disciplined. So if you're able to make them disciplined when they're in your presence, but when they're away from your presence, they're not disciplined and they cannot lead themselves, then you're not helping the players become leaders. So I'm not too strict with them. I'm strict on the values that they have, but I'm not too strict on the discipline. And then at the beginning, what I have is a double tap handshake. We all do it to each other before the practice starts, because I want every player to feel acknowledged when they come to the training. I want to build that atmosphere that nobody is ignored.
Yeah, for the yeah.
So, yeah.
It's for the dozen.
Okay.
The dozen.
The second one.
Remember that time you said please don't sharks?
Yeah.
Or please don't sharks. Shark don't sleep.
Dylan didn't let me forget. What's the second one?
Never give up. Never give up.
Never give
Communicate
up.
instructions
So
always.
hold on. There's 2 types of never give up. So what's the third one? Hey, Abraham.
Communicate instructions always.
Communicate instructions
That means
always.
if your teammates.
So guys, do you guys know why I'm telling you these things?
To treat us like adults. To treat us like adults. To treat us like adults.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. Yes, it's to Landon. Hold on, this is very important.
And you said we could. And you like babies.
Hold on, yeah.
And you said, say, so Coach Kevin, shut up,
yes.
Sit down.
Yes, someday, hey, Faraz, Munib. So the two reasons why you guys are doing this. One, I want to treat you guys like adults, and then the other one is Landon said someday I hope when I'm playing a game, you guys tell me, okay, we don't need your help. We'll communicate. So you can just
shut up. When you bring us out or bring us in.
exactly. And maybe someday you guys will be smart enough to do that on your own. So in this drill that I got my players doing, I'm teaching them to communicate instructions always. That's one of our values. And they're doing the same drill for the whole practice until they get it right. I'm not going to say anything. It's up to them. So if they don't get it right, they do the same drill the whole practice. They got to communicate. They got to be leaders. They got to show each other what to do when they don't understand. I'm forcing them. Otherwise, they're not going to pass this drill. So that's how I enforce them to use the values that I teach. I'm not doing it for them. If they don't do it, they don't pass the drill. They stay here until they do it right. All right, so these guys almost did the same drill for like almost the whole training. I wanted to do some other stuff, but I wanted to wait till they had the discipline to complete this one. So we don't have too much time, but I wanted them to know what it is to lead and to use this as an experience to lead each other in the future. So they learned a lot today, but it was good. It was good to see the final result.